Sports with Taking Five with Phil, brought to you by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. Your story is our story. Hey, Phil, we're a couple weeks behind. We wanted to start this process a little bit earlier, but hey, better late than never. We're heading into week 4, or game 4, I should say, of the season, and it's kind of a big one for Notre Dame. I want to start this question number 1 right out the gate. I'm hitting you hot. The biggest conversation, even after our first win, has still been the defense and Chris Ash. So question 1, is this SEC matchup a job interview for Chris Ash this week?
No, it's not in Marcus Freeman's wheelhouse, I don't think, to let him go, if that's what you're talking about, in the middle of the season. That's not going to happen. That actually probably would cause more damage than problems it would solve, even if Chris Ash is not doing a great job. That doesn't mean it can't happen at the end of the season. And I think anybody that saw the post-game press conference last week, and then also listened or watched the Monday press conference, you would realize that Marcus Freeman's working pretty hard behind the scenes, and he's not happy about the way his defense is happening, and things need to change. Chris Ash, I think, will be around at least for the rest of the season, if not longer. And people tend to forget, too, that in years past, Al Golden wasn't very good his first season at Notre Dame. I mean, relatively. Marcus Freeman's first 2 games as defensive coordinator, he wasn't very good. But Notre Dame's got to improve, and they got to improve fast.
Okay. Other side of the ball, number 2 question. So Notre Dame's offense has looked really, really good over the last 2 weeks. So kind of more what we were going to expect to see that week 1 against Miami. They've leaned obviously on the run game because you got just studs back there. But in the passing game, they've been leaning especially on Reardon, Fields, Faison, and a little bit of Love out of the backfield. We're kind of missing Greathouse, kind of like where was he last season? A little bit of Pauling. Can we expect those guys to get some more play as this season progresses?
They're playing. There's just only one ball, and right now, Jaden Faison and Malachi Fields are the guys, and they're the guys downfield. Jaden Greathouse is more of a slot guy. He'll get worked in when it's necessary, but I don't want to force the ball to those guys as long as this offense is rolling. And this offense is rolling. It's getting better. And I I think it could be as good as any offense Notre Dame has had in 20 years by the end of the season.
That leads me into my next question. The one soft spot on the offense, maybe I don't want this to come off too harsh, maybe a lack of progression.
Oh, be harsh. Be harsh, Jesse. Go ahead.
Well, the lack of progression with Anthony Knapp at the left tackle. For instance, that sack fumble in the Purdue game was kind of an example. You can't get beat on the speed rush on the outside like that on the quarterback's blind side when you know it's a 5-step drop back. Tell me a little bit about what they're talking about with the offensive line and its progress as it pertains.
Well, the progress overall has been very positive. If you look at where this offensive line was after game 1, after game 2, it's gotten better every game. Those things are going to happen against good players. Anthony Knapp missed that block, but don't forget that Anthony Knapp played that position last year as a true freshman and played it all the way to the national championship game. So,
and he graded very high too.
He did, and again, it's a work in progress. Chemistry has to develop along that line. I think it's getting better every game. It has gotten better every game. Overall, the play of that offensive line was pretty good. It also helped that Notre Dame faced an offensive line that was not the caliber of Miami's or Texas A&M's last week. This week, Arkansas's offensive line or defensive line is pretty solid. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, we're a quarter of the way through the season already. It's unbelievable to think. Give me your offense and defense. Give me one of the surprises and one of the kind of letdowns that you've had on both sides of the ball so far.
Well, on offense, the surprise to me is how quickly I've just forgotten about issues of an inexperienced quarterback. CJ Carr, I have confidence in him that he's going to continue to get better. I thought it would be a little more of a growing pain with CJ Carr. I knew what his base talent was. I'd seen that and his potential, but man, he has stepped up really fast. What was the other side of that question?
Somebody that you haven't seen enough from that you'd like to see more from on each side of the ball.
Yeah, more. I just can't wait to watch this offense continue to evolve the rest of the season. I think they are going to be really, really fun to watch. Defensively, right now the bar's really low, right? Get a little bit better, man. Just get a little bit better. More big plays. They haven't gotten the big plays like that seemed to come at the right time last year and the last 2 years. That's what I want to see. I want to see just some big plays.
Is there a pleasant surprise that you've seen defensively? Somebody that's going into either year two or freshman wise?
Yeah, yeah. Well, last week there were two freshman corners, Dallas Golden and Mark Zachary, that had to play the whole game and did play the whole game. I want to focus on Dallas Golden. This guy's going to be really good. I got a great feel for that. He played nickel last week and he displaced Carson Hobbs, who was in his second year and had been slated for that position at the nickel corner position. And in the post game, he was asked, had you ever played nickel before in high school? He goes, nope, never played it before in my life. He first got put at the nickel position, and that's a difficult position to play because you got to really fill the whole field as opposed to the boundary or the other side of the field. So he started a week ago. Monday was his first day ever playing nickel, and he went out and he played 65 snaps last week and played really well. That guy's going to be good. That's a surprise.
All right, fifth and final question. So 1-2 heading into week 4. Not a lot of big matchups. So USC's trending up right now, but they got some big games they could lose. Not a lot of ranked teams on the schedule going forward, but this is an SEC opponent. How important is it for Notre Dame to get some style points this week to really start getting that ball rolling in the direction, just so there's a chance at the end of the year for the playoffs?
Well, it can't hurt to beat an SEC team, but it's not considered a big, huge matchup. It's not in prime time. It's none of those things. Um, Arkansas is a team that's a bit in disarray. They're a bit like Notre Dame right now. Actually, their offense is pretty solid, pretty solid. Taylon Green is like, dude, 6'6", 230, leads the team in rushing, and he's thrown 12 touchdown passes. Uh, but their defense is in disarray, and Sam Pittman, their head coach, he's on the hot seat right now. So there's some culture, potentially cultural divide in that program right now. So Notre Dame's just got to, let my colleague Tim Priester talk about really the future or getting into the playoffs. He calls it rat poison right now, and we all know we've all heard that before, what rat poison is. And they just gotta win week in and week out and let things take care of themselves. Let's get to 500. Let's win a couple after that, and then start talking about where this season could go.
Well, in honor of our first official Take 5, I did wear my Notre Dame inspired lei that I got in Hawaii because I hadn't seen you in person since I had gone to Hawaii.
Right?
And what lays me in Hawaii are love, affection, connection, and that's what they mean. And in this world nowadays, there's nothing better to get us connected and having these conversations like sports. So I want to thank you for letting us do this segment, and we'll see you next week for another one.
Jesse, thanks for all you do for Fighting Irish Preview, and love talking football with you.